Hello. Welcome to, is it Wednesday? I think it's Wednesday. Yeah. We've only got 2 more days left of the month, today and tomorrow. So yay. Welcome to 5 Minutes of Good with me, Renee Pickens. Yesterday we were talking about time and thinking about time and how we use our time and all that stuff, and I want to kind of follow on from that. And I've been reading a little bit from Ecclesiastes, which, as I've said before, is written by or is believed to be written by King Solomon, a rich guy, a wise guy, a guy of many experiences, good, bad and ugly. And I'm picking up again in chapter 3 verses 10 and 11, where he says, I have seen the burden God has laid on the human race. He has made everything beautiful in its time. He has also set eternity in the human heart, yet no one can fathom what God has done from beginning to end. I have seen the burden God has placed on the human race. He's talking about this burden of this time that we have, or this sense of time that we have as human beings. We feel like we have this limited time on the earth, but he's also set eternity in our hearts. Like, we also have this sense of, well, there's got to be more to this. There's got to be more after just living here on earth. And it really is talking about the fact that our time is often quite different to God's time. God, he doesn't operate on our timetables. He doesn't operate even in our time zones, even in our waking moments and in our sleeping moments. He has his own timetable, and even our lifetimes for him. You know, the Bible also talks about our lives are just like breath on air, like dew on the grass in the morning, and by mid-morning it's gone. That is sometimes what our lives are like when we think about the greatness of God, and we think about how God is here for eternity. He is the beginning and the end, the Alpha and the Omega. And Jesus had a different kind of idea around time as well. He was never really in a hurry to go about and do stuff and achieve and become famous. He had a different kind of time frame to his human friends. Even though they were saying, quick, come, your friend is dying, he said, no, I'm actually going to wait because I know that this is in God's plan. Even when his brothers were like, come to this party because this is where you're going to get famous. Like, if you come to this party and you get in with these crowds and people see you here and hear what you have to say, then you're going to be known everywhere. And he said, no, actually, my time is not now. He was operating on God's time clock, not on his own human time clock, because he was human as well. And sometimes we get really wrapped up in this. I know that I do for myself. I'm like, come on, this is not happening in the right time. Or, I don't know. In this time, I've spoken a lot about people having a lot of time on their hands and a different pace of life. But I know actually for some people, being restricted to, okay, you've got to be here now, and we can't be out, and we can't be like demonstrating to everyone all the busyness of what we're doing, so we find other ways to do it. And some people might say that what I'm doing right now is one of those things. You know, we throw ourselves into endeavors because we don't want to waste time, and then we end up feeling this tension, this stress, and we wonder why. There's a great quote, and it's by Dallas Willard, who's a philosopher. And the quote says, Jesus was never in a hurry, but he was always on time. Jesus was never in a hurry, but he's always right on time. And often we try to impress our own time clocks on Jesus, on God. And we just need to understand that he's actually never late. His timing is perfect. And one of the most important and yet hard spiritual gifts that we can cultivate in our lives is the gift of being present, the gift of stopping and being still and listening to God. And I'm not very good at this. And I took up a challenge about like just stopping and taking 5 minutes just to be still and just to be present with God. And you know what happened? I took a 2-hour nap. But I think that's okay. I think God was like, okay, I'm going to give you what you need right now. But that's my challenge for you today. Take 5 minutes. Be still. Operate on God's time clock. And remember, you are good, you are loving, you are kind. Bye.